Hi, my name's Eliza Edvold, and I've titled my research Quality Physical Education Equals Quality Lifelong Activity. So I had two questions I had to answer first in order to make sure that my research topic was feasible. The first question was, is there an obesity trend in the United States? This was an important question to ask because if there wasn't, then there really wouldn't be much merit for my research. My second question was, can we fight this trend in physical education class? Again, this was another important question to ask because I would need to find a new research topic if the answer was no. And finally, the question that my research was based off of was, what practices best foster a healthy attitude towards lifelong physical activity in students? So I went about this a couple different ways. I first talk to my professors. So I'm a health and PE major, and my professors, who have done an extensive amount of research themselves and published many articles on the same topic, were able to direct me the right way when it came to researching my topic. Second, I use NDSU's online library. This way, I was able to find reliable resources when I was looking at different journals and articles. If I didn't find something off of NDSU's database, I would check it to make sure that it was reliable by using a number of different things like the author, who is providing the information, do they have any credentials, the publisher, is there a sponsor, bias, is the language free of emotion, designed, does the source appear professional, among a couple other things. Lastly, I use some information from online forums that practicing physical educators use to share information and practices. This way, I was able to get information from people who have experience and are passionate about helping kids. Of course, I would check with the national standards to make sure that it was an appropriate practice that these educators were using. But I found it to be a huge help to get information from people who are actually practicing physical education right now. This way, they are able to just have experience on that topic and share what they've learned from that. Secondly, I conducted an interview with a physical educator, so I got their take on if my research was something that really did reflect accurately on physical education class. So now to get to the answers behind the previous questions that my research was based on. I found that there was indeed an obesity trend in the United States, and it's getting pretty extreme. As you can see in these visuals, the US is getting a lot bigger. By 2010, every single state had at least 20 to 24% of its population considered obese. So this is a huge climb from 1990. If you can see these different colors, the entire US is just completely changed, and it only keeps climbing. According to the US Department of Health and Human Services, more than 1 in 3 adults were considered to be overweight, and 1 in 6 children ages 2 to 19 were considered to be overweight. It's safe to say that obesity in the US is definitely a problem. My next question was, can we fight this trend in PE class? I found that it makes the most sense to go to the place where children spend most of their time, which is school. While most of the time school is spent sitting in classrooms, students also have the opportunity to move and learn healthy habits in physical education class. According to the National Association for Sport and Physical Education, PE can do an incredible amount for students. Like this list that you see: improve physical fitness, skill development, regular physical activity, support of other subject areas, self-discipline, improve judgment, stress reduction, strengthen peer relationships, improve self-confidence, and experience setting goals. So now to get to my main research question. What are the best practices that allow students to foster a healthy view of physical activity? So where do we begin with this? Number one, physical educators must always refer back to the national standards and grade level outcomes published by Shape America. So this is where physical educators can make sure that their practices are appropriate and that they will foster growth in students. So it's always important to be referring back to this published standards. Lastly, physical educators must incorporate lifetime activities into their class. This involves participating in a range of activities that enhance an individual's overall health and well-being, along with allowing students an opportunity to identify physical activities in which they will be able to participate in after they graduate. So this is so important because typically when you think of a gym class, it's playing basketball, which isn't necessarily bad, but we have to make sure that we are allowing students to try out different activities that they will be able to take outside a physical education class so that they know how to be healthy. So by helping students foster a healthy attitude towards physical activity, we can begin to see an increase in healthy individuals over a lifetime. These are my resources, and you can refer to my annotated bibliography on my website also to find more on my research. So I thank you for listening. I hope you've learned a little bit more on this topic from my research. Thank you.